your personal little kid sport, except for there's a password, and that password is Monday. Hey everybody, we've got an amazing show for you today. We're going to talk about the evolution of gyms turning into nap gyms. We've also got talking about clowns this week. We're going to be talking about what Pete and I did this last week with our grad night shows. And, of course, Teachable Moments coming up. We might also play Truth or Dare. Who knows? Stick around.
Cheers to nappersizing!
Cheers to nappersizing. So, you were the one who found this, my man. I've got to know, what is nappersizing? What is it?
Nappersizing is going to the gym and napping. That's it. A UK gym, I found this on odditycentral.com. A UK gym introduces napping exercise classes to combat exhaustion. We are in a war against exhaustion, and we must fight back with going to the gym and sleeping.
Dude, we talk about this all the time on Monday Club, especially for our Cheers of the Week. But what a weird time of human society that there's a place that calls itself a gym that just tells people to come in and nap. That's insane. Like that's insane, right? I'm not the only one. It has to be absolute craziness. I can almost understand somebody buying a used hotel and saying, "Hey, you know what? You look tired. You should come in here and for $5 take a quick nap. It's going to make you feel better." Like, I can get behind that business model. But the idea that a gym, a place of getting your body in peak physical condition, a place that you pay upwards of $100 or more to go and get your body in its peak physical condition, a place that does that, to just be like, "Hey man, why don't you just come in here and take a nap? We'll just take your money while you're sleeping."
I don't know. I'm on board with this. I want more naps. It says 86% of parents reporting that they suffer from fatigue, and 26% saying that they get less than 5 hours of sleep a night. So they go here to nappercise, and they do gentle stretching for 15 minutes, and then you have 45 minutes of shut-eye instead of burning themselves out even more with traditional fitness exercise.
Shut up and go home. Go to your damn apartment or your house or go to bed, get some blackout curtains. That shit's free, and just lay down and take a nap. Don't go to a gym to sleep. That's silly.
They've got this exercise room full of single beds with people with like branded duvet covers that say nappercise on it. Everyone's got eye masks over their eyes, and they're all sleeping on a gym floor on beds. It's weird.
This is the pet rock of exercise. Somebody had a great idea. They're like, you know what people like to do? They like to take naps. I bet I could make a nickel off of that.
You know what the only problem with nappercise is?
Oh, please tell me what the only problem of nappercise is.
The only problem is that they're single beds. What if you just want to get everybody in one big bed and nap together?
Dude, so this isn't the Cheers of the Week, but on that same note, I heard of it's like a Tinder app kind of thing called Cuddle. And It's supposed to be designed for people who want to take naps at home but don't want to sleep by themselves. So you hook up on Cuddle, and theoretically, you're not there to, hook up and have sex. You're there just to cuddle and snuggle and spoon with somebody so you can sleep better.
Theoretically.
And apparently that's a real thing.
That's weird. That's because normally the cuddling comes after all that fun stuff. They've got it backwards.
Listen, I'm just saying, there's somebody out there who's in the creeper van, who's got the porn stash, who is like the number one guy on that app, right?
He's the best cuddler in the world.
I'm sure he is.
Meanwhile, you have underwear missing.
I'm sure he is, and his Polaroid collection is amazing. So, with this nappercise thing, basically, if I'm to understand this right, this whole thing takes us back to when we were in kindergarten, and you all have your own mat, and you just go and you lay down, boy, girl, or however you want to lay down, and stay in the bed on this little mat and take a 45-minute nap. I mean, is that basically the deal?
Yeah, definitely a trend in our Cheers of the Week to regression back to our childhood years.
I think,
we get
I
adult
think that's the
toys
trend of the
and
world,
naps.
man. I really do. I think the trend of, especially this country right now, is to try to get the ultimate goal of a high-end trendsetter right now is to be back in kindergarten. I think that's like what you're aiming for. If you have so much money and expendable time and income, what your goal is to have a plastic tricycle that you can ride around, to not worry about your hair or body odor, to go and take a nap, and to drink beer while you're doing yoga. That's it.
Snack time. Don't forget snacks.
Oh yeah, don't forget snacks, bro. You gotta have your snacks.
And story time, man. Snack time and story. We need to bring those back.
Right? To whoever invented napper size and is cashing in on adults being tired, and you get people into the gym to take a nap, and you're making bank off of that. Your yacht says napper size on it. To you, Monday Club, cheers.
Oh, Gus, today is a special day. Another
Tell me why,
special
buddy.
day. Because the beer I'm drinking, I did not buy for myself.
What do you mean?
Well, apparently, ever since my friend of the show, Alan Benson, bought us a beer a couple episodes ago, we have another taker on the offer of buying us drinks, apparently.
That's awesome.
Someone sent in money. They sent it into you, though. So who bought me this beer?
All right, so here's the story. A new friend of Monday Club, his name is Dustin Gibson, is a friend of Monday Club. He's a friend of mine. I know him from doing shows out in Daytona Beach. I've done years of shows out there, gotten to know him, gotten to know the group of programmers before him. He sent me a text message and says, hey, me and my friend are traveling all over the United States. We're leaving Florida, and our goal is to get to California. So they're going all the way across the United States. And his goal was to just do as much camping and fun stuff, be on the cheap as much as they could, but see most of America while they're traveling through. And he told his friend, hey, I've got a buddy that lives in Austin, Texas that will show us a good time. So how about we go through there? And he texts me, says, hey, man, do you have time to go hang out? I was like, absolutely. I happen to be home. We had 2 days off of being on the road. And I was like, yeah, man, totally. Show up. So him and it turns out to be a female friend shows up. And I took them out for a night on the town. We got hammered. We invented drinking games playing skee ball. You know the game skee ball where you roll the ball and try to get it into the different cones or whatever. Oh yeah, totally. So we were drinking down on 6th Street playing skee ball. And then we went to go see, my wife had an improv show that night, so we went to go see her do improv and slam some more beers. And then we walked up and down 6th Street and slammed some more beers. Anyway, you get the picture. So when it was all said and done,
sounds like you did a lot of slamming.
We did. It was a pretty epic night. It was pretty good.
Sounds like the beers were dead afterwards.
I was talking to him about Monday Club. He started listening to it on the rest of his journey across America. And he sent me a text message saying, hey, I'm having so much fun listening to Monday Club. Can I buy you guys a drink? And I said, absolutely. So Dustin Gibson, Mr. Peter Bois, is drinking a what?
Well, Dustin, first of all, thank you, man. This applause is for you. Thank you very much. He recommended a brewery out of, is it San Diego or somewhere in California, Ballast Point Brewery. He wanted us to buy Victory at Sea, which is, I think, a porter. I went to my local awesome beer shop, and I could not find the Victory at Sea because they were all out of it, because apparently it's the best ever. And so I got something that's very close, I think. It's Ballast Point, same brewery, but it is a nitro, which I love nitros. So much less carbonation. They're so smooth and delicious. It's Red Velvet. It's a golden oatmeal stout with beets, chocolate, and natural flavors added. So check out this color. That is red as red can be for a beer.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, and it's a stout, and it's nitro, and it's delicious. So, Dustin, thank you very much for this. This This is an amazing treat.
Dustin, on my end, I'm going to go ahead and claim that over the last week, since you sent that lovely, lovely donation in for us to buy us around, I've been doing nothing but 4 a.m. shows, lock-ins for grad nights, and literally the only time I've been conscious has been at 5 a.m., which is just the most embarrassing time to go buy beer of all time, or too late to buy beer for our state. So I will either get that, or he also said a Guinness would be acceptable. And so next show, you have my word, bro. I will get a Guinness on you. And more than anything, man, just thank you so much for supporting the show and making this happen. Pete and I get like 5-year-old getting cotton candy giddy when we get bought a drink on this show. So yes. Dustin, thank you so much, man. We'll keep the comedy coming for you.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, and I decided to go with a different. I just decided to go with Red Velvet over a Guinness because I thought I'd stick with the brewery and still got something pretty close to what you had recommended. Now, the only issue with this, I bought this morning, so I was the guy buying beer at 10 a.m. at this place, and I was coming back from my show in Almost Canada, Fort Kent, and it was warm when I bought it, so I threw this beer in the freezer, and I left it in a little too long, and it started frosting over, so I have ice chunks in it right now, but it's still delicious.
So I'm drinking a 7 and 7 today because that's really all I had left in my house. I had 7-Up and Seagram 7.
You did make a promise that you would never drink Seagrams alone, so you were mixing it this time.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, because Seagram's by itself is awful.
You're keeping your promise to yourself.
That's right. Look, a true alcoholic knows his limits and keeps his promises. So I'm drinking 7 and 7. It's a pretty good, nice, refreshing drink. It's super easy to make. It's a little carbonation-y for me, but it's a good drink. It's fine for Monday Club, and by the end, I've just been doing pretty heavy pours, so we'll see if my speech gets a little slurred throughout this episode.
Oh, man. So thank you again, Dustin, and thank you all for listening to Monday Club and being part of the club. We really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes. Give us a little love with a review up there, and tell your friends, man. Share it on social media, wherever you go. Say, hey, check out this podcast. Yeah, if you guys want to buy us a beer, we will accept your beer nations. Oh, is that a thing? Beer donations?
Wow, you just made the new term, Beer Nations. That's what it is.
Beer Nations. All right, we will take your Beer Nations. Just PayPal us at mondayclubpodcast@gmail.com. Tell us what you want us to drink and include the amount of money it will cost us to get that drink, and we will shout you out here and drink your drinks.
I also want to put in a quick plug that Monday Club isn't at all just Pete and I. Like, that's totally not the point. What we want is we want to hear from you and talk about, we want this to be a dialogue. We want you to have the secret code to get into Monday Club. So please send us an email, shout us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, get our attention. We want to actually talk to you and make you part of Monday Club. And for all of you that are listening, we cannot thank you enough. I hope that we are getting better for you. We're trying real hard. We're actually taking lessons and practicing to make this as awesome as possible for you. And happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday.
So I went to a concert this weekend. Last time I went to a concert, I can't even remember.
Oh my God.
I know. I used to go to a concert every week or month. When now it's once every 2 years if I'm lucky. I went to Zac Brown Band. Yeah, I'm a little bit country. This is my 4th time seeing Zac Brown. You ever see him?
I'm gonna just say I've heard of Zac Brown, but Zac Brown could knock on my front door right now, and I would spray them with a hose and tell them to get off my lawn. Like, I don't know who that is.
I'm a big fan, man. I'm not I listen to whatever I like, whatever genre it may be, and man, he speaks to me. He gets to my heart, and he's a party too. He's kind of got some Jimmy Buffett style songs, and it's a real fun and chill vibe. And the only problem with the concert, there's this guy in front of us that was really drunk, and he was. I had a bet with my wife that he wasn't going to fall over, and she was betting that he was going to fall over.
That's drunk. When you can make that bet, that's drunk.
Yeah, he kept swaying back and forth. And I want to say that I won $5 because he did not topple over. But he was farting a lot. Every couple of minutes, she'd look at me and go, "Was that you?" I'm like, "No, definitely not me." And it was some of the nastiest. And I've been known, never mind. Anyways, there's some of the nastiest farts ever. And every few minutes, we just go and look at each other and laugh. And it was funny.
Dude, so can I tell you one of my favorite fart stories?
I would love to hear a fart story.
Okay, so when I was in high school, 16 years old, I went out with a couple of friends of mine with their mom, and their mom was so sweet, she was trying to get us culture, so she took us to the opera. And we all got dressed up in suits and ties, and the ladies were in nice ball gown dresses and stuff like that. But we're teenagers and we're jerks because teenagers are jerks. And we go to this thing, and her mom was trying. The girl that I was with was trying so hard to get us culture, and we tried. We tried so hard to enjoy it, but it was pretty terrible.
What was the opera? What opera?
Dude, I don't know. I was trying to get laid. I didn't even care. The point is,
you're like, I love this singing, talking stuff.
Yeah, I'm so interested in whatever they have to say. I'm so cultured.
Can we make out now?
Yeah, can we make out now? I know your mom's here. It's a little awkward. So the opera was over, and her mom, sort of with a head of disappointment, was just like, okay, well, let's all go. And I know that this was during the winter time, so it was freezing cold outside, and we had to walk from the opera to our car, and we're all walking. It's a pretty big group of teenagers plus this mom, and there's this older couple that's in front of us walking. It's a gentleman with his full dress, dude, like top hat, coattails, the works.
What year
and the
was
woman
this?
is in.
Was this like 1930?
Yeah, she like picture 1930s like money bags with a monocle, right?
Yeah. Did he have his little opera binoculars?
I'm sure he did in his pocket.
That would be awesome.
So they're walking in front of us, and the mom had just finished not telling us that we were assholes, but telling us that she was a little disappointed in all of us for falling asleep or talking during the opera or whatever we were doing. And we all were trying to act like we were sad when really we had a pretty good time just jacking around at the opera. And so everyone had gotten completely silent to try to appease this girl's mom. And we're all staring up in front of us, walking forward, and the dude farts. The dude in, like Moneybags farts. And the only reason I know he farts is because steam just pours out from the back of
No! Are you serious?
I swear to God,
no
this is a true
way.
story. And so we just see this fart cloud just go out behind him. And we just fucking all just start dying laughing.
In all my years of farting and being around people who fart, I have never literally seen a fart.
It was amazing.
I wonder if it would have caught on fire. If you that was like
totally
legit.
Oh, that was a
methane.
perfect one.
There.
Had someone had a lighter, that would have been a perfect one.
That's hilarious. Imagine, you know those shots of football players in the cold and they're all breathing. Imagine if there's just a bunch of guys lined up and then down the row.
Oh my God. I can just see the center. He's about to hike the ball, and you just see a cloud just go
and the QB just kind of falls back.
He calls an audible and gets in the shotgun.
Oh, man.
That is the most sports joke that I can possibly make. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. You're
Omaha! Stop farting!
Oh my God. Well, that's cool, man. I've gotten away from concerts. I don't know what my deal is. Unless I'm part of them, I've been staying home. Austin's a great live music capital of the world or whatever, and I'll tell you what, I just cannot make myself go to a concert right now.
Really?
I don't know what it is.
I've noticed that concerts are getting louder as I get older. Is that real, or am I getting older?
Yeah, I think it's your old man ears kicking in, buddy.
Oh man, I think I have. I think I lost hearing in my right ear when I was a teenager because I would sit on my bed practicing card tricks with my boombox blasting into my right ear, and now when I go to a concert and it's too loud, it goes above this certain pitch or frequency or something, and it's at a certain volume, my right ear distorts. So it's like when you hear, a stereo just get too hot and it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that happens
I'm
in your
thinking
right
about
ear?
investing in some of those earplugs that just decrease everything by 20 decibels.
Yeah, you. There's no reason for you not to wear earplugs at concerts right now. I mean, now you're old enough that you care about your hearing. When you're young, you don't care about it. When you're 15, 16, I've literally been at a concert. I was at an Outkast concert one time, standing right next to their giant speakers because that was the front row, and partying like it didn't matter, and it didn't bother me. But I certainly can't hear as well as I probably would have had I not done that. So, the coolest concert, I know I've just been telling nothing but stories, but I got another one. So, the coolest concert that I ever got to go to, me and a friend of mine were walking down, we were just out of high school during the summer, had nothing to do, we were walking around the streets, just being hoodlums, and I saw a line of people just disappearing around a corner, basically. And so I got in this line. Me and my friend got in this line, and we went through. And it turned out that there was a giant circus tent-looking thing that was set up, and nobody was saying what it was. They were just like, hey, do you want to come in? Like, sure. So they gave us a wristband, gave us a T-shirt, and the T-shirt said, Idik Yidig. Idik Yidig. Which turned out to mean, if you don't know, you don't go. It was a secret concert. And we walk into this circus tent, hung out for about 45 minutes to an hour, and all of a sudden, freaking Outkast comes on.
Oh.
And it was their release party of Stankonia. And so Outkast, Goody Mob, and a couple of other people, I think Method Man showed up there. It was a 100% free concert that anybody that just showed up got to come to the release party, and it was insane. It was insane. It was one of the coolest concerts ever. Totally free, and didn't know what was happening the entire time. It was great.
That's amazing. Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
I went to a free concert, and it was Taylor Swift.
That's cool.
Not as cool as
I'm down with the TS.
Well, it was in the town over from me in Kennebunkport. She was doing one of her videos. She was shooting a music video, actually, right on the ocean in Kennebunkport. As a thank you to the town of Kennebunk, she did like a free 20, 30-minute concert right after she was done filming and everything. So that was pretty cool. So we went down and we watched Taylor do her thing.
Well, hey, Taylor, if you're listening to Monday Club, you can do a free concert on Monday Club. We'll give you at least 20 or 30 minutes of airtime. So,
you know what? I almost opened for Taylor Swift.
Please continue.
This is before Taylor Swift was Taylor Swift. I was doing colleges. I got a call from this venue or a school that was booking me, or they already booked me. We had this contract, and they were saying, look, we have a chance to bid on this new up-and-coming country artist, Taylor Swift. And I'm like, who? I had no clue who this girl was. And they started explaining, oh, yeah, she's going to be big. She's coming up really fast. And would you be okay opening for her if we can get this bid? And I was like, sure, why not? I remember looking her website up, and I was like, oh, cool, whatever. It never happened, but maybe 6 to 8 months later, like, she just blew up. And then I was like, oh, okay, so, okay.
It's funny when stuff like that happens. I had the same situation with a guy named Javier Colon, which probably people now don't even know who that is.
He was on The Voice.
Yeah, he was on The Voice, exactly. For whatever reason, during that time, right before he got on The Voice, and now he does big concerts at big casinos and stuff like that. But before he did that, he was a struggling artist and got on The Voice, and that's how people really got to know him. Well, that season that he got on The Voice, just before that was released and just before he got hot, one of the markets that I was advertising in for my game shows, we ended up being on the same ticket for Act of the Year. So it was Javier Colon, me with my little game show sketches, and like a couple of other people. And I remember that my wife looked at the list, and she was like, "Oh my God, you're going up against Javier Colon!" And I was like, "Who the hell is Javier Colon?"
He's like, "What? Do you like that fragrance?"
Right, exactly. I'm sure he's never heard that one before. Okay, so recently, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of an era, and I think it's only fair on Monday Club that we recognize this end of an era. The circus. The American circus.
The greatest show on earth.
The greatest show on earth is dead. That's right. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus has called it quits after 140 years, I believe, of touring this great nation of ours. I can't believe how sad it has made me in my heart that this is coming to an end. And I'll tell you why. I have an 8-year-old son. I've taken him to at least 3 Ringlings shows in his life. But as he grows older, he won't remember that. He won't remember Ringling as a circus. He was too young to really have that ingrained in him. And the idea that the circus, the circus that we think of as the circus, has had to fold it's like when he's an adult and he has kids and he won't be able to take his kids to the circus. That idea, it just makes me so terribly sad. It's like losing a tiny bit of magic, the last bastion of magic that was left in our society. It's like that just got erased and wiped out forever, and it makes me so incredibly sad that that's the state of affairs that we're in this country.
It is sad. I mean, they were now the biggest circus touring. They do have other small circuses that go around, mom and pop shops, even some bigger stuff, but never to the extent like the animal shows. And I think that's the big reason why they shut down. They just got sick of putting up with all the complaints about, the treatment of the animals and stuff. And, some of it's probably rightly earned, but I figure that they can't. In these days, they have to probably treat the animals better than their trapeze artists.
The big problem with this is that it's two different sides coming from two different places. Here's the reality from my opinion. I get animal rights activists. I genuinely do. I think that if you love life, if you love animals, seeing an animal that you feel like is in servitude or not kept in perfect conditions, seeing that is painful to you. And my animal rights brothers and sisters, I get you. I truly do. That being said, there are so many people in this country that will never, ever, ever see an elephant ever in their entire life because the circus doesn't exist. There are people who will never see a tiger because the circus doesn't exist. They brought the majesty of these animals to the layman public in a way that no one else could possibly do. And because they were the biggest circus in town, they had a certain standard that they were able to keep. Smaller circuses that have animals acts in them don't have that budget, don't have that clout, and don't have that standard that they have to keep themselves to. So it's terribly sad that the lesser of two evils was shut down due to animal rights activists. And also, and I'm just going to say it, I think Cirque du Soleil. I think people started getting in their head that what a circus is high art, crazy, weird storyline bullshit.
I'm not sure.
What I want to see when I go see a circus, I want to see a motorcycle cage. I want to see people doing trapeze art stuff. I want to see somebody stick their head in a tiger's mouth, and I want to see the majesty of the elephants. You do those 4 things, I'm set. You can even keep the clowns. Forget the clowns. Just those things, and I'm set.
I went to a Ringling Brothers circus when I was a kid, and I don't remember much of it. I just remember sitting there. I do remember the clown car and a bunch of clowns getting out, but I was really young. You're forgetting something. We do still have zoos, but maybe not SeaWorld. That might be going away too.
Well, I'm not forgetting zoos. I thought about zoos. I genuinely did. But the thing is, schools don't have money to take you to zoos. There's a huge percentage of the population that won't spend money on that. Right? There's a huge percentage of the population that won't ever go to a zoo. I guarantee you, in this country, regardless of what your personal socioeconomic situation is, you will be able to find people where you say, hey, have you ever been to a zoo? And they say, no, man, I've never been to a zoo. So, but the circus is different. The circus offered tickets to elementary school children. They got kids into a situation where they could see the majesty of these animals and different types of performing arts. I mean, that's why Clown College was invented, was to increase the arts. The Ringling Brothers Clown College. So, man, I feel like I'm all passionate about it, but I'm really genuinely sad that piece of magic that was left in our society is gone. It's a tragedy. It's an American tragedy that kids won't have the experience of going to the circus and seeing people do things that are impossible from their point of view.
Yeah, you're definitely taking it a little harder than me, but it is pretty. It's sad. I think it's sad. It's going away. It's just sad. It's gone. It will never come back the way it was again ever.
Pete, you have a kid, right?
I do.
Do you not care that you're not going to be able to take your kid to the circus ever?
There are other circuses, though.
I've been to other circuses, and let me tell you something. It's a waste of money. I'm saying it on record. It's a waste of money. I've been to the Shriner Circus before. I've been a sponsor of the Shriner Circus for 4 years in a row, and I'm telling you that I watched that circus with my kid and was whispering to my kid, hey, man, this is kind of like the B Team.
No, it is sad. It's for me, it's always sad when something goes away that will never come back. Yeah, and it will be sad. I won't be able to take my son to that. I am sad about it, but I don't know. I guess you ever have a run-in with PETA?
Yeah, totally.
You did?
Totally.
You've had a run-in?
Yeah.
When I was a teenager, I worked with doves, and I don't even remember how this happened, whether they emailed me or I emailed them. But I had an email exchange with a PETA person, and they were totally against any type of performing animal. They were against my doves. They were against any type of performing animal. And then I asked them, what about dogs? And doing tricks in the parlor for treats. And I think that's where it stopped. They stopped emailing me back because it didn't make... And it's so funny because they are an advocate of spading and neutering dogs and cats, but, they don't have a say in it. That's they don't get to tell whether they want their balls cut off or not. I'm just saying, Peter, you're a little hypocritical.
I'm saying that I had the exact same run-in, and I'll tell you that in my early years, I used a bunch of different animals. In my show, in my kid's birthday party show, I used to use 2 doves, a white bunny rabbit, and 2 hedgehogs. Those are all part of my show.
In your show?
Yeah, I used to use hedgehogs.
What did you do with hedgehogs? I want to know that.
I used to make a hedgehog appear out of a
top hat?
No, out of a mirror box.
Because you're giving away secrets.
For those of you who don't do any magic at all, a mirror box is exactly what it sounds like. It's a box with a mirror in it.
You're supposed to say, I made it appear out of an empty box.
I made it appear out of an empty box, or at least half diagonally of an empty box. Anyway, I used to make a
Gus,
hedgehog
you're kicked
appear.
out of the International Brotherhood of Magicians.
Oh, okay, well that's gonna hurt my feelings really bad. So I used to make a hedgehog appear out of this empty magic box, whatever. And the cool thing about it was, at the time, my business model was doing a lot of schools and libraries, and I was doing a lot of shows for inner city kids. So I'd pull this thing out, and most inner city kids, that was a dragon. They had never seen or heard of whatever this spiky little tiny creature was. And so it was really cool to pull out what to them in their brain was this magical creature. So yeah, that was part of my shtick, was to do all these things. And so yeah, one time I did a show, and after the show, this woman came up to me and she was pissed. Oh my God, she was pissed. And she was talking to me about how cruel it was that I was stuffing these animals into tiny boxes and doing all this stuff. And I was flabbergasted. I was just like, these animals, I buy their food, and I paid for their cage, and I love, the only reason why they do the things that I have them do is because they know their part in this play that I'm putting on. And that's how they repay me for taking them to the vet, buying their food, buying their cages. So it's a win-win situation for both of us. It's a two-way street. And I love these animals. They're not just props. I actually take care of them and play with them and have them trust me, all of this stuff. And she wasn't going to hear it. And she told me she was going to put me on the news and blah, blah, blah. She's got video and all this stuff. And finally I was like, look, it's not going to hurt my feelings if you put me on the news. In fact, that will probably help my career. Please, do it. And then we stared at each other and blinked, and I never heard from her again. So, and then my bird died of heat stroke later on. So I guess in her defense, she probably was right.
If she had put you on the news, it totally would have prevented that. It would have guilted you into stopping using birds and animals. Yeah, I don't get it. As long as the animals are treated well and however they're being used, they're not being hurt or, dying in a box from heat stroke. I'm okay with performing animals.
Yeah, totally. What about clowns? How are you with clowns?
I'm okay with clowns. I try to befriend a clown once a year at least and make him happy.
You try to befriend a clown once a year? Yeah. What do you mean by that?
Because there's so many sad clowns out there, you just want to... I don't know what I'm talking about.
All right,
I'm
so
okay
listen.
with clowns. I think clowns are... I loved clowns. That was my favorite part of the circus, is clowns coming out of the clown cars and doing all the silly shtick and the bits and the falling over. I just loved that physical comedy. I was way into it. Juggling. I could watch clowns all day long. They're hilarious.
So here's the thing. Ladies and gentlemen, my old job, I bought a balloon business, and this balloon business sold the kind of balloons that you twist into balloon animals, and clown makeup and juggling supplies and magic supplies, things like that. And over the 5 years that I owned that business, I got to know a lot of clowns. In fact, I went to a bunch of clown conventions. And
clown conventions? What happens
clown
at these
conventions.
Clown conventions?
Oh, we'll get there, buddy. Don't you worry your little pretty head. We'll get there. So I want to start this whole conversation off by saying there are some amazing clowns. There's some people who are exceptionally skilled at miming. There's some people who are exceptionally skilled at working with young kids and making their persona such that they can really connect with that demographic. There's some really funny prop comedy and physical comedy that can happen with clowning. I have a deep respect for those clowns that are really, really good. That being said...
This is the big butt of the story here. So yeah. We can throw out everything you just said.
Right. That being said, I have met some terrible, awful, horrible people that consider themselves clowns.
Horrible as humans.
Yeah, right. I want to tell you all a couple of the experiences that I've had with some jacked up people that should not be clowns. I'm going to do my best not to name names, but it's going to be virtually impossible. So if you know any of these people, or if you are the one listening to Monday Club, I look forward to your emails. All right,
shit.
Bring it on.
Here comes the dirt of the clown community.
So I once went to a clown convention. It was a convention just outside of Vegas. Because they couldn't afford Vegas.
Oh, I've heard about these. Is this where clowns have sex with each other?
Oh, totally. I'm sure. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I went to one of these clown conventions, and they had crazy lectures about how to deal with the stigma of the creepy clown, which was funny because they were actually the creepy clown. There wasn't. I don't remember anyone that was there that was actually a bona fide great clown.
Is that called irony?
Yeah, it was exceptionally ironic. A lot of them are people who are trying so hard to save a nickel that they were, mouth coils?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, you can buy great mouth coils. In fact, shout out to my friend
Cressy.
Yeah, Cressy. Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Cressy Products. They make amazing mouth coils, and John Reed. Thank you for all that you've done, John Reed, for all of the magician and clown communities. But there was a lecture that was at one of these clown conventions that was how to make your own mouth coil, which, ladies and gentlemen, a mouth coil by itself is what, $1? Maybe $2? And if you make your own and risk your life and cutting yourself and all that stuff, you save 75 cents. Well, these clown conventions are teaching you how to save that 75 cents by making a really super crappy product that's homemade.
And how long did it take? Like an hour to make one?
Oh my god, yeah, at least an hour. You just don't respect your time at all.
There's no way I'm sitting down and cutting out a mouth coil in an hour.
So one of my favorite moments, I have two that I want to talk about, and then we'll move on, but I have two favorite moments. The first one was I was selling my wares at this convention, and Pete, I am not joking with you. I think that 30% of the people at this convention were so overweight or so old that they were riding around in rascal scooters with oxygen nose plugs plugged in so that they could survive. Okay?
Aww.
I want you to picture that. So picture somebody on a
on?
giant rascal who can't breathe, who's 300 pounds overweight, who has an oxygen tank plugged into their nose. And I'm sitting at this place trying to make sales, and I have my own room, and I had this one lady come in her little wheelchair thing, like, and she comes in, and she looks around for a second, just turns her head left and right, and then looks at me and says, "What do you have for free?"
What do you have for free?
Uh-huh. And I said, I'm sorry, we don't have anything for free, but we have this giant selection of balloons if you'd be interested in purchasing one of those. She says, "No, I thought you guys had something for free." And then her chair starts beeping because it's out of batteries. And it's a very small room. So she has to do like a 17-point turn with her rascal trying to Austin Powers it out of the room. So imagine she's like backing up, going forward, backing up, going forward, backing up, going forward. And the entire time, everyone in the room is completely silent because everyone has to push over to the walls as far as they can to give her the space. And she backs up like 15 or 16 times so that she can turn around. But because the battery's low, she's going at 0.02% of a mile an hour.
Aww.
And she just goes out of the room and she leaves, and we all just freaking die laughing, man. It was one of the funniest moments it was like we had the church giggles. You know what I'm talking about? Where you're not supposed to laugh, but you just start dying laughing.
Yeah, like when your grandpa farts in front of you in church.
Exactly. So my second clown story is that there was this grandma. She was definitely a grandma. She was in her late 60s who had just started clowning. And she was wearing this, for lack of better words, a harlequin outfit. A very skimpy, revealing outfit, but she's in her late 60s. And she has her face completely clown painted, and she's wearing these two pigtails, black pigtails. And she gets on stage and she says, "Hi, my name is Handlebars the Clown." And I'm sitting there thinking, Handlebars the Clown? And she has pigtails? And she tells her origin story. And she says, "I found this wig at this weird random shop, and I like this outfit. It's a very nice clown outfit. It's very bright." And Pete, it was like a sex doll outfit, right? And she's wearing these two pigtail, like braided pigtail wig thing. And she gets on stage and she's like, "Yeah, well, my first event that I went out to was at a biker rally, and they all looked at me and they said, 'Hey, Handlebars, it's nice to see you.'" And she's like, "Handlebars, what a great name." So, "Hi, everybody, I'm Handlebars the Clown." And she didn't know why they were calling her Handlebars. And that was she has business cards printed up of Handlebars the Clown.
Her name is a euphemism, and she is completely oblivious to that fact.
Completely oblivious of that. Oh my God, dude. It was. I don't think I've laughed that hard ever in my entire life. I couldn't stop laughing.
What a poor, innocent, ignorant... I don't know what to say.
Somebody out there's like, "Grandma, no!"
No one had the heart to tell her all these years?
How do you have that conversation? How do you go to a 68-year-old woman and just say, "Hey, just so you know, Grandma, what they were referring to is places to hold on to for blowjobs."
Oh, poor Handlebars. I knew a stripper once named Handlebars.
No, you didn't. That's a lie.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, speaking of lies, guess what, Pete?
What?
Let's play a little truth or dare, buddy.
All right, let's do it. Truth or dare. Hot damn.
You see that transition? That was masterfully done.
That was amazing. So I'll go first. So do you want truth or dare, Gus?
Wait. So explain how we're doing this truth or dare. Are you just making this up, or what's the deal?
No, I'm on playtod.eu, and they have a truth or dare game up there. So you can press truth or dare, and then it gives you a question or a dare for the other person. And so I'm going to do this. Plus, we have some written down that we might draw from as well that we came up with.
Okay, so I just need to say that in my head, Truth or Dare was a fun game. And then I started looking at websites that do Truth or Dare, and it turns out Truth or Dare is designed for 13-year-olds. Is that is that what you've come up with too, buddy?
Yeah, this is basically truth or dare is an excuse to dare people to like kiss and do other sexual acts together.
Pretty much, it's pretty much if you don't have 7 minutes in heaven, then you should play Truth or Dare or spin the bottle, right?
I remember in high school always wanting to play Truth or Dare. I'm like, oh, something good's gonna happen during Truth or Dare. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be great. Now we've turned it into a game 35-year-old men play together over the Skype.
All right, we'll do our best to make this entertaining, people. Here we go.
So this is half ironic, half play. We'll call it that.
All right.
So do you want truth or dare, guys?
We can keep this going. All right. So I'll take truth. What you got?
Truth? All right, I'm going to press the truth button. Oh, here you go. How many different sex partners have you had?
Today?
Oh, that's Gus. God, just bring out that little black book you keep in your back pocket.
Oh my God, no!
And
that is
up.
CIA encrypted. You'd have to open 6 sockets to get into that black book. My truth is, I genuinely don't know. I don't think I ever. I don't. I didn't
You've heard it
score.
here first on Monday Club. Gus is a pimp.
No, I don't even. Man, God damn it! All right, I don't think I ever kept score. I didn't keep score. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to ladies and gentlemen. Like I didn't keep score.
Ballpark.
I don't really
let's hear
know.
a ballpark. 3, 20, 80, 1,000. Are we talking like handlebars numbers or like Wilt Chamberlain numbers?
Oh my God! I can't get that picture out of my head. I don't know. I don't know the answer to your question. Maybe I'm gonna. Oh God! All right, I'll take a dare. I'll take a dare because I don't know the answer to your question.
You can't go back.
Oh
All right, well then, if you don't want to answer, you have to finish your drink.
It's not even I don't want to answer. I don't know the answer, but okay, I'll take a drink. Fine. It's off to a great start.
Oh, he's totally ruined the game already.
All right, Pete.
I'll take a
All right,
dare.
your turn, buddy. You'll take a dare?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring it
on.
on.
All right, a dare. Pete, I want you to cuss like a sailor for 20 seconds.
20 seconds. All right.
Yeah, 20 seconds of you just going off on somebody. You know, when you are driving down the street, you stop at a stoplight, you see one of those homeless guys, and they have a sign that says, you can cuss at me for $1. This is what I want. I want you to just imagine that you get to go off on somebody.
Oh, I could not. You destroyed my cussing boner. I cannot picture cussing at a homeless guy. How about he just someone just cut me off and I'm really pissed off at that guy.
All right, fine.
BMW
Somebody just cut
with
you off.
Connecticut plates.
Somebody just cut you off and they said, I'm glad the circus is dead.
Oh, all right. You gonna time?
Yeah, I'll time you. Hang on.
Tell me when to
Here
go.
we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, you motherfucker! You goddamn piece of shit! I cannot believe you just cut me off. Here's a finger. Here's another finger. You motherfucker! I hate you. I don't know any other swears. Goddamn asshole shit. Cunt fuck piece of dingleberry ass wipe.
Time! Oh.
Was that 20 seconds? Oh, that was tough.
Seconds, buddy. Here's what I think we should do. I think we should play that, but I think we should put beeps over all of your cuss words. Because to me, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I think that the beep is funnier than the actual cuss word. When I see cartoons, the adult I don't want to say adult cartoons, but you know what I'm saying, cartoons with adult content where the characters cuss, when they beep it out, it's much funnier than when they just say the cuss word. So I think that's what we should do. Go.
Oh, you motherfucker, you goddamn piece of shit. I cannot believe you just cut me off. Here's a finger. Here's another finger. You motherfucker. I hate you. I don't know any other swears. Damn asshole shit. Piece of dingleberry wipe.
Time! Oh. All right, it's your turn.
All right, no, your call. You want truth or dare?
I'm gonna take truth one more time. See if that works.
All right, here we go. Of course, these are all like 14 and 15-year-old questions.
Right.
Gus, can you tell us about your secret fantasy?
Yeah, I can tell. I ain't scared of you, motherfuckers.
You gotta see Gus's face.
All right, so here we go. My secret fantasy is this, and I'm not ashamed. I will say this on the air. My secret fantasy is to have both of my feet massaged at the same time. That means there's two ladies, one on each foot, working all of the pressure points. And I kid you not, that's at the top of my list for fantasies right there. And I want you to know I'm in massage mode, but they are fully clothed. I don't expect any happy endings or anything like that. I just want both feet worked on at the same time. And in fact, if I ever went to a nail salon and got a pedicure and they were in a rush and so they put two people working on my feet at the same time, I would secretly put a check mark by that one. Like that would make it for me.
You want a menage a toe?
I do. I want a menage a toe. Well done, sir.
Oh, all right. I will take a truth since I did dare last time. I'm going to truth.
Have you ever dated more than one person at a time?
Like in the same date, or like?
No, like Monday you went out with somebody, and then Wednesday you went out with somebody else, and Thursday you went out with somebody else. You were dating more than one person. You were going on dates with more than one person at a time.
That wouldn't be a big deal because that's kind of how things go until you tell each other you're monogamous, right? But actually, I don't think I ever have done that. I'm a very narrow focused individual. When I get someone in my sights, they are the only person I want at that moment. So, I would say no to that question.
You know, I have. I've dated a couple of people during the same time before we got serious enough to call each other girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. And I will say that it wasn't really that fun. I had to spend so much time remembering people's names and where we were going and what the last thing we talked about that it wasn't fun. So
wait, I have done that. I was the last season of The Bachelor. That was all me.
All right. Way to stay incognito, buddy, and humble.
Yeah.
Way to stay humble. Yeah. So, yeah, for me personally, I've tried that. It was not fun. Would not recommend, though, obviously, there's so many different people out there. You guys do what you do. Just be safe and take care of each other and try to care about other people. That's all I have to say.
Aw, so sweet. So sweet. All right, you want truth or dare?
I'm going to take a dare, mofo.
Dare. All right, here we go. How about, Gus, I dare you to lick the bottom of your shoe right now.
Listen, of all the dares that are on our list of dares, that's my least favorite dare. Because I'm kind of a germaphobe.
I win.
It's like, one of our dares was to beatbox for 30 seconds or something like that. Totally got that. I got that in the bag. One of our dares was to slap yourself as hard as you can and be it on air. I totally got that, man. I will slap the shit out of myself. I don't care. But for real, I'm like Howie Mandel when it comes to germs, and so licking the bottom of my shoe
Gus.
is terrible.
All right, come on. It's the dare. You got to do it. You don't have shoes.
I don't have shoes.
You don't have shoes? I'll wait. Go grab a shoe. Go grab.
All right. God.
You know what's clean? Your kid's shoe.
No, it's oh my God, Jesus. All right, I'll be right back. Sorry.
Oh, here he comes. I think he found a shoe.
All right, so this is probably the end of our friendship and the end of the podcast as we know it.
All right.
So I want you to look.
All right. Did you
see
find a
that's
shoe?
Supposed to be a white sneaker. What do you see?
Yeah, it's a little dirty. It's there's got some dirt on there. It's black and white on the bottom. Go profile. I want to get a good picture. Gus did it. He just licked the bottom of a shoe. Oh, I am going to post these pictures on Instagram, so come be our friend on Instagram to get these awesome pictures of Gus licking the bottom of his shoe.
Let me just...
That was the best moment. Oh, wow. That was wonderful. He's about to throw up, folks.
I don't think anyone, except maybe James Caldwell, genuinely knows how much of a germaphobe I am. I keep Travel Purell clipped into all of the equipment that we travel with, just in case I have to shake somebody's hand and I'm dubious about where they've touched. I will just Purell my whole hand. It's terrible. It really is. And so that was a testament to how much I care about all of you.
Wow.
That was even on the table. That I would, if you had said, "Hey, remove your fingernail or shave off half of your beard," I would have happily done that compared to lick the bottom of my shoe. I'm gonna go take a bleach bath now.
If Gus comes down with strep throat or some sort of weird bacteria,
I'm calling it. You win, Truth or Dare.
I am the Truth or Dare champ. Boom, boom, boom. All right, will you beatbox for me for 20 seconds? As
Yeah,
my
sure.
present
Here we go.
for winning. I love how you added the overtone. That's delicious. Oh, man. That is Monday Club Truth or Dare. We should do that again.
Yeah, maybe we will. We should get some 14-year-olds to get on that. That would be fun.
And now for your teachable moments of the week. All right, my teachable moment for this week is put a fence around your garden. Do it. You won't be sorry. I just had a beautiful weekend, so I put in my vegetable garden. I have a famous vegetable garden in my neighborhood because I grow watermelons, and we had like 20-pound watermelons last summer, and it was amazing. And I gave one to all my neighbors, and so now they expect me to grow fruit every year. And yeah, it's a good size for this area. Anyways, my dog, or my neighbor's dog, took a big shit on my spaghetti squash plant, and I'm a little pissed off about it. So I have to go to Home Depot tomorrow and get a fence. And,
wait, you have to go where?
Garden. The Home Depot.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I will go to the Home Depot and get the fence for the garden in my yard to prevent the shit from landing on the spaghetti squash.
Well done, sir. Here's my teachable moment. My teachable moment is simply this. Look, if you ever find yourself on a stage for any reason, addressing a crowd of any size, please, for the love of God, grab a microphone so that everyone can hear you clearly. My wife has a band that I'm trying to manage in my own way, and we had a concert that was outdoors. And there were 3 acts that went on in this concert. All 3 were singing acts. Our group was the last group to go. And the first 2 acts didn't use a microphone at all. And so we're outdoors at a bar, and the first 2 acts for an hour and 15 minutes, not a single person in that audience cared at all about what was happening on stage. It was basically... It was laughable. No one cared. No one could hear what was happening. No one cared. And then we came on, and we had 4 microphones. We had a drummer. We had a guitarist, all that were amplified. And then the bar itself shut off the music. They turned on lights. People from the parking lot showed up and pulled up chairs so they could see what was going on. And only because... It's not that our group was any better than the other groups. It's only because people could actually freaking hear them. So people say all the time, oh, that's okay, I can be loud. No, you can't. You can't be loud enough that everyone can hear you. Use a freaking microphone for anything. PTA meetings, use a microphone. If you're doing a toys party... Use a microphone.
Use a microphone.
Yeah, if you're on Mary Kay, use a microphone.
Use a microphone.
If you're doing a podcast, use a microphone.
Use a microphone. Use a microphone.
That's my teachable moment for the week.
That was beautiful. Funny thing, I'm going to get a new sound system this week. Yamaha Stage Pass 400. There's a little tip for you guys. Go grab one of those. That was amazing.
Hey guys, we want to thank you so much for listening to Monday Club. We could not be here without you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you want to give us a shout out, you can check us out on our website. That's MondayClubPodcast.com. There you can find our Twitter, Instagram, all of that social media stuff. You can also email us at MondayClubPodcast@gmail.com. Our email address is the same thing as our PayPal account. So if you want to buy us a drink, get shouted out on Monday Club, super easy, MondayClubPodcast@gmail.com. That is our PayPal account. Guys, we could not do this at all without our sound engineer. That's Mr. James Caldwell. He is freaking amazing. Also, all music credits go to Zach Holder. Thank you so much, DJ Z. And certainly, thank you this week for our Drink of the Week from Mr. Dustin Gibson. Dustin, you're amazing. Thanks so much for coming through, Austin. We appreciate you so much. Again, this is Monday Club. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Dustin, for the drink. We love you.